Hey, welcome back to the Venture Building series. It's great to have you here. In our last episode, we delved into the concept of identity and the role it plays in shaping one's journey to success. Identity is the essential foundation for building a life of purpose and impact. But knowing who you are is one thing. The real test is what you do with that knowledge and the degree to which external factors influence it. Today, we're going into a place many of us know intimately, but few dare to name. It's a place of quiet stagnation, a dangerous comfort zone. I call it the in-between places, or the state of being be-twist. It's the place where you're not advancing, yet not visibly retrogressing. It's a place of partial cowardice, where we construct elaborate excuses to avoid the discipline and courage needed for the next level. We fall into the ever-learning, never-acting mode, convincing ourselves we need just one more piece of information before we can finally begin. But the in-between is a mirage. Staying there is not neutral, it's a silent retreat. It could damage your long-term career because while you stand still, time doesn't. You risk leaving your rightful place in the world vacant, only to see it occupied by others who, while perhaps not more talented, were certainly more courageous. When you linger too long in in-between places, you become a signpost. People who once looked up to you use your knowledge to navigate their own paths to success, speeding past while your life remains at a standstill. I know this place because I once lived there, though not deliberately, but too overwhelmed to get out of it. My story doesn't start in failure, it starts with success. Early in my career at a major bank, life was taking off. I was seen as a luminary, a rising star. The path ahead seemed bright and clear, but then things changed. A few incidents, a few political shifts, and I found myself skipped for a promotion I had worked tirelessly for. Then it happened again. The spotlight that once followed me began to dim. Slowly, over time, I went from being a luminary to being invisible. It was a crushing experience. I was trapped. I wasn't being fired, but I wasn't advancing. I was be-twist. And the worst part, I started to accept it. I settled into the gray, comfortable twilight of the in-between, until one day I woke up and realized that my potential was not something for others to validate. It was mine to claim. I decided I was no longer standing for it. I was going to make choices, hard choices, and take deliberate steps out of the shadows. Maybe you're in a similar situation, or maybe this feeling just resonates deep within you. If so, help is here. I'm going to share the exact 4-step framework I use to break free and reclaim my trajectory. Before I do that, let me introduce you to one of our self-development tools. Did you know that effective communication is highly dependent on context? A study found that companies that prioritize context in communication are 21% more likely to see an increase in productivity. This is because contextual clarity reduces costly errors. Research from Gartner shows that a lack of it is responsible for 70% of corporate errors, and other studies link poor communication to a staggering $1.2 trillion in losses annually for U.S. businesses. This is why we developed Lingua. Lingua is a communication mastery tool designed to help you become a more concise, clear, and powerful speaker. Our app focuses on context-based learning, allowing you to practice and apply communication skills in the situations that matter most to you. Download Lingua at www.lingualeap.com. Back to 4-step framework. Step 1. Engineer a system reset. I knew that to be seen differently, I first had to be somewhere different. My old environment had a memory, and it would constantly pull me back into the invisible role I was trying to escape. To make real headway, I had to change my environment completely. For me, this meant leaving my job. I needed to update myself with new knowledge and add new, powerful tools to my toolbox. This meant finding new skills, new friends, and a new network. It was essential to be around people who would judge me not by past incidents or old narratives, but by the quality of my thinking and the strength of my character today. For you, a system reset might not mean quitting your job tomorrow. It could be joining a new professional group, moving to a new department, or dedicating your evenings to a completely new field of study. The key is to intentionally place yourself in a new context where you are a blank slate. Step 2. Build your optionality. The feeling of being trapped comes from a lack of options. My next step was to acquire new skills that gave me greater independence and created more paths for my future. I learned how to invent, how to create solutions and build things from scratch. This skill was my key to freedom. It gave me the tangible option of full-time entrepreneurship. I was no longer dependent on a single company or career ladder for my success. Ask yourself, what skills would give you more options? Is it coding, public speaking, financial modeling, sales? Go learn them. Tap into your creative genius. It's already in you. As a fan of the creative economy, I often tell people to develop a gifting or special attribute. Your creativity in the long run will not be replaced by technology, AI, or another human. Your creative genius is yours. It's God-given. So go on an exploratory journey to discover it. Every new, high-value skill you acquire is another door you can open. Don't just follow a path. Create a map with multiple destinations. Step 3. Adopt a lifestyle of continuous and applied learning. This is critical. To avoid falling back into the ever-learning, never-acting trap, my commitment to learning had to change. It was no longer about passive consumption. It was about active application. I adopted a lifestyle of continuous, applied learning. The rule was simple. For every book I read or course I took, I had to immediately apply a lesson from it to a real-world project. I taught them clients within my consulting business. If I didn't know what to do with the knowledge right away, always dispense it. This ensures you stay fresh and are always advancing. Knowledge that isn't used is just trivia. Knowledge that is applied becomes wisdom and creates results. Step 4. Accelerate your growth by teaching. The final and perhaps most powerful step was to venture out on a mission to impart knowledge. I started to teach, to mentor, to share everything I was learning. The Roman philosopher Seneca said, "Docendo decimus," by teaching, we learn. In the Bible, God gave us insights to this in Gen 1:28, using your vast resources for the benefit of God and man. This does two things. First, it forces you to understand your knowledge at a much deeper level. You can't explain a concept well until you truly own it. Second, it plants seeds of growth in others, creating a positive feedback loop that accelerates your own development. Your growth becomes exponential because you are building a community and an ecosystem around your progress. So to recap, 1. Engineer a system, reset, change your environment. 2. Build your optionality, create more paths for yourself. 3. Adopt applied learning, move from knowing to doing. 4. Accelerate by teaching, solidify your growth by sharing it. These were my steps out of an in-between place. They took me from invisible back to luminary, not in the eyes of others, but in my own. And that is the only place it ever truly matters. The in-between place is a choice. Today, you can choose to pack up camp. You can choose to take that first step into the forest. Your next chapter isn't found. It is written. Resources. Download Lingua Leap, www.lingualeap.com ebooks on Amazon. 1. The Ascent. 2. Demystifying Startup Finance. 3. Success Principles for Professionals.